Students, let's start chapter number 4, magnetic effect of electric current. ठीक है, we should start with Oster's observation. Okay, this is very important observation because from this observation two branches of the physics, there are current, electricity and magnetism, उनकी स्टडी टुगेदर स्टार्ट हुई. इससे पहले दोनों को इंडिपेंडेंटली स्टडी किया जाता था. ठीक है, कंसीडर दिस फिगर ए. ओके, नाउ हियर दिस इज द कंडक्टिंग रॉड. When there is no current in this conducting rod, you can see the magnetic needle shows normal north-south reflection. When current is allowed to pass, you can see this magnetic needle shows the reflection. Magnetic needle shows the reflection, and as you increase the current, deflection will increase. Okay, and for very large current it becomes perpendicular to the conducting rod. Now this was surprising for Oster. Why? Because at that time it was considered that if you want to change the position of magnet, you need another magnet. Okay, here there is no any another magnet, and yet this magnetic needle changes its orientation, its position, it shows the deflection. So this was the surprising part of this experiment for Oster. When he switched off, needle shows normal north-south deflection. When current was passed, needle shows the deflection. Thus he concluded that when current is passed through this conducting rod, magnetic field is produced around it, and due to that magnetic field, this needle shows the deflection. Okay, so this is how he concluded that whenever there is current in any conductor, it produces magnetic field around it. Now, if electric current produces magnetic field, then ultimately moving charge produces magnetic field, because electric current is due to motion of the electric charge. So we can conclude that motion of charge, yani moving charge, is the source of magnetic field. Okay, so this is our conclusion. When current is passed through conductor, magnetic field is produced around it. Whenever there is current in conductor, you will find magnetic field around this conductor. So our next point is moving charge is source of magnetic field. Clear? Moving charge is the source of magnetic field. Clear? Next point, Biot-Savart law. It is like Newton's law of gravitation. Newton's law of gravitation gives gravitational field. Coulomb's law gives electric field. Similarly, Biot-Savart law gives magnetic field. Okay. Statement is intensity of magnetic field due to current element ideal. Intensity of magnetic field due to current element ideal at point having position vector r is given by the formula dd mu naught upon 4 pi ideal cross unit vector r by r square. So this is the statement of Biot-Savart law. Here ideal is current element. Okay, ideal is current element. It is the product of current and length, and direction of the current element is direction of current. Clear? Mu naught is magnetic permeability of vacuum. Its magnitude is 4 pi into 10 raised to minus 7 unit Tesla meter per ampere. Now Tesla is the unit of magnetic field. It is derived unit. Tesla is Newton per ampere meter. Newton per ampere meter derived unit is called Tesla. Clear? Listen. This term mu naught upon 4 pi, it is like 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught. You know that 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught is proportionality constant. Okay, and it is the property of the electric property of the medium. Similarly, mu naught upon 4 pi is also proportionality constant, and it gives you magnetic property of the material. And here it is vacuum. Clear? Now r cap is vector r upon its magnitude. Okay, so same formula can be expressed like this also. dB mu naught upon 4 pi ideal cross vector r upon r cube. Here r cap is vector r upon its magnitude. So it is vector r upon its magnitude. So in denominator it is r cube. Clear? So with the help of this formula, we can find magnetic field of the current element ideal. Now explanation. Here in explanation we have to explain that if you are given current carrying conductor, how will you find magnetic field of the current carrying conductor? So suppose this is the current carrying conductor and we have to find magnetic field at point P. Okay. You cannot find magnetic field at point due to this current carrying conductor directly, because in that case, how will you consider the position vector? So you have to divide it into small element. You have to divide this into small element. Now consider one such element. Okay, suppose this is our current element ideal. With respect to this current element, position vector of the point P is R. This is the direction of your current element. Now ideal is in this direction, R is in this direction. You can see the direction of magnetic field dB is the direction of ideal cross R. If I find the direction of ideal cross R, then I have to rotate the right-handed screw from ideal to R. It is clockwise direction. If I rotate the screw in clockwise direction, screw will move perpendicular to plane inside. So direction of magnetic field is perpendicular to plane inside. Clear? So consider a current carrying conductor of any you can consider any shape. Clear? Divide this conductor into small elements and consider any one element. So you can see in the figure we have considered one element. Clear? Current element is very small, so direction of ideal is direction of current. बराबर. Now direction of dB, that is the magnetic field, is direction of ideal cross vector R, which is perpendicular to plane inside the plane. ठीक है. Now magnetic field due to this element is dB mu naught upon 4 pi ideal cross vector R by R cube. In this way you have to find magnetic field due to each element, and then resultant magnetic field is vector sum of magnetic field due to each element. Resultant magnetic field at point P is vector sum of magnetic field due to each element. Clear? Now, so therefore, total magnetic field B is integration dB, integration mu naught by 4 pi ideal cross vector R by R cube. Clear? So listen, this is the way you will find magnetic field. First of all, you have to divide your given current carrying conductor into small element. Consider one element, find out magnetic field at given point. Okay, and then you have to integrate it. Okay, then you have to integrate it. So integration will give you result. Ultimately, it is vector sum. But here you will find magnetic field at point P due to each element perpendicular to plane inside. So direction of magnetic field due to each element is perpendicular to plane inside. So ultimately direction is same. So it is ultimately algebraic sum. बराबर आपको सिर्फ addition करना है. तो integration will give you resultant magnetic field. Clear? Integration gives you resultant magnetic field. Any doubt? बराबर तो पढ़ लो ध्यान से, किसी को कोई डाउट हो तो पूछो. बराबर पूरी हर एक टॉपिक हर एक पॉइंट ध्यान से पढ़ लो. बराबर पॉज करके नोट्स बना दो. नेक्स्ट पॉइंट, डिस्कस points of similarities and difference for Coulomb's law and Biot-Savart law. Ultimately, it is about electric field and magnetic field. Okay, so first of all, points of similarity. ठीक है, तो first point, both laws obey inverse square law. ठीक है, in Coulomb's law that is 1 by r square. Similarly in Biot-Savart law that is 1 by r square. So both obey inverse square law. Okay, magnetic field and electric field. बराबर Coulomb's लॉ से जो इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड की फॉर्मूला बनेगी उसमें भी डिनोमिनेटर में आर स्क्वायर होगा, और बायोट-सावर्ट लॉ से जो मैग्नेटिक फील्ड की फॉर्मूला बनेगी उसमें भी डिनोमिनेटर में आर स्क्वायर है. तो ये फर्स्ट पॉइंट है. सेकेंड पॉइंट, बोथ लॉज represent the fields which are fundamental fields. We know that gravitational field, electric field and magnetic field are fundamental fields. So Coulomb's law represents electric field which is fundamental. Biot-Savart law represents magnetic field which is fundamental. Third, both fields are long range fields. whether it is electric field or magnetic field. Okay, force due to electric field, yani electric force and magnetic force are long range forces. Okay, it is not like nuclear force. For nuclear force the range is up to 1 to Fermi. It is not like this. So electric field and magnetic field both are long range forces. Clear? Fourth, both field obey principle of superposition. ठीक है, when suppose at certain point more than one electric field is there, then resultant electric field can be obtained by principle of superposition. Same thing is applicable to magnetic field also. If at certain point more than one magnetic field exists, in that case resultant magnetic field can be obtained by principle of superposition. ठीक है, now we will discuss points of difference. The first point is source of electric field is scalar, but source of magnetic field is vector. ठीक है, source of electric field, we know that source of electric field is electric charge which is scalar, but source of magnetic field is moving charge with velocity, so we have to consider it as a vector source. Okay, second point, so listen, direction of electric field is along the line which joins source and the point where electric field is to be obtained. समझो ये चार्ज Q है और ये पॉइंट है P, तो either electric field is in this direction if charge Q is positive and electric field is in this direction, so ultimately it is along the line joining charge Q and point P, so electric field is along this line. whereas magnetic field हमने अभी डिस्कस किया कि अगर ये करंट एलिमेंट है बराबर और ये पोजीशन वेक्टर R है, तो आपको मैग्नेटिक फील्ड परपेंडिकुलर टू प्लेन मिला बराबर, बट डायरेक्शन ऑफ magnetic field is perpendicular to the plane which contains current element and position vector. इस तरह से Where electric field is along the line, so it is in that plane, whereas magnetic field is perpendicular to plane in which current element and position vector are lying. Clear? And third point, listen. Now the magnetic field, magnitude of the magnetic field is something like this: mu naught upon 4 pi I dl, ठीक है, sin theta by r square. Unit vector, unit vector has magnitude 1, so it is I dl sin theta. So you can see magnetic field depends upon the angle between current element and position vector, where there is no such angle dependency about electric field. So magnetic field depends on angle between current element and position vector. Whereas electric field does not have any such angle dependency. Clear? So similarities में both laws obey inverse square law. Both laws represent fields which are fundamental fields. Coulomb's law represents electric field, which is fundamental. Biot-Savart law represents magnetic field, which is fundamental. Okay, both fields are long-range fields. Both fields obey principle of superposition. Okay, here points of difference in first point. Source of electric field is scalar because it is electric charge, which is scalar. Source of magnetic field is vector. It is moving charge. So charge with velocity. So we have to consider it as a vector source. The direction of electric field is along the line which joins source and point where electric field to be obtained. But direction of magnetic field is perpendicular to the plane which contains current element and position vector. Magnitude of the magnetic field depends on the angle between current element and position vector, whereas electric field does not have any such angle dependency. Clear? Okay, next question. Obtain relation between mu naught epsilon naught and speed of light in vacuum. Clear? Now listen. We know that 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught. What is the value of 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught? It is 9 into 10 raised to 9 Newton meter square per Coulomb square, and mu naught 4 pi into 10 raised to minus 7 Tesla meter per ampere. ठीक है, so your ये मेरा रिजल्ट 1. So mu naught by 4 pi is 10 raised to minus 7. Tesla is Newton per ampere meter into meter by ampere. So meter cancel. ठीक है. So 10 raised to minus 7 Newton per ampere square. But ampere is coulomb per second. So it is 10 raised to minus 7 Newton coulomb square per second square. ये result 2. बराबर. Now taking ratio of result 1 and result 2. ठीक है. 1/4 pi epsilon naught upon mu naught by 4 pi. बराबर यूनिट के साथ. तो 9 into 10 raised to 9 न्यूटन मीटर स्क्वायर पर कूलम स्क्वायर upon 10 raised to 7 Newton per ampere square. So 4 pi cancel, Newton cancel. ठीक है. अगर एम्पियर्स यानी ये लिखना था ना हमें, सेकेंड स्क्वायर कूलम स्क्वायर, तो कूलम स्क्वायर कैंसल. सो 1/mu naught epsilon naught is 9 into 10 raised to 16 मीटर स्क्वायर पर सेकंड स्क्वायर. इसका स्क्वायर रूट ले लो. 1/√में mu naught epsilon naught 3 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second, which is speed of light. So thus we have C 1/mu naught epsilon naught. तो ये है रिलेशन बिटवीन mu naught epsilon naught and speed of light. Okay. So it's it is very clear that speed of electromagnetic wave depends on magnetic and electric property of the medium. Clear? Listen, हमने स्टार्ट किया 1/4 pi epsilon naught. उसकी वैल्यू क्या है? 9 into 10 raised to 9 न्यूटन मीटर स्क्वायर पर कूलम स्क्वायर. mu naught is 4 pi into 10 raised to minus 7 टेस्ला मीटर पर एम्पियर. 4 pi को डिनोमिनेटर में लेगा. टेस्ला इज न्यूटन पर एम्पियर मीटर. मीटर कैंसल. इट इज न्यूटन पर एम्पियर स्क्वायर. एम्पियर इज कूलम पर सेकंड. सो कूलम स्क्वायर पर सेकंड स्क्वायर. मेरा ये आपका रिजल्ट. अब दोनों का रेशियो ले लिया. 9 into 10 raised to 9 न्यूटन मीटर स्क्वायर पर कूलम स्क्वायर. 10 raised to 7 न्यूटन सेकंड स्क्वायर पर कूलम स्क्वायर. बराबर. तो 1/mu naught epsilon naught 9 into 10 raised to 16 मीटर स्क्वायर पर सेकंड स्क्वायर. So it is 1/√mu naught epsilon naught 3 into 10 raised to 8 मीटर पर सेकंड. पर ये तो स्पीड ऑफ लाइट है. बराबर इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेटिक वेव की स्पीड. सो C is equal to 1/√mu naught epsilon naught. ये क्या रिप्रेजेंट करता है? स्पीड ऑफ इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेटिक वेव इन गिवन मीडियम डिपेंड्स ऑन इलेक्ट्रिक एंड मैग्नेटिक प्रॉपर्टी ऑफ द मीडियम. क्लियर? नोट डाउन कर लो.